There we go. We ready to go?
Ready to go.
Recording. Since our police officers, both of whom are here today, certainly have been doing nothing but relaxing and having a calm time, playing with beach balls and drinking pina coladas, I'm going to just get right into it. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 7:32. The minutes from last month have gone out. I move that we approve those meetings unless somebody has any adjustments to them. Diane?
Just one correction on the new president's spelling of her last name.
Okay.
It's Leighton.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Noted.
Thank you very much. So now I move within that one change that we approve those minutes from last month.
Second.
All
Second.
right, and here we go. Before we start with the police officers, I do want to point out that I made a typographical error in the agenda and did not catch it. We do not have any LUDRC business. The two votes that are discussed in the agenda were held over from last month's agenda. I will ask that we change that agenda, and the one that we post on the website will be correct. We'll take that out. So I do apologize. Only one person noticed. I'm sorry about that. And let's go ahead with our police report. Who wants to start? Officer Tagorda or Officer Moody?
Sergeant Moody is senior.
I'll go ahead and defer to you, Officer Gorda, since you have all the statistics, and then I'll pipe in and when needed.
That's him.
Yeah, James Moody.
Sounds good. All right, good evening, everybody. So let's go over some numbers. Past 30 days, calls for service was 208, which is a 17% drop as compared to the previous 30 days. Let's go with top 10 calls for service, or should I just say the number one call for service was audible alarms. Again, usually that happens in the mornings as people are opening up their shops and businesses. Security checks came in number 2, and then traffic stops were third. So let's just go with the top 3. As far as incident reports in the last 30 days, Autobergs still is number 1, and that's throughout the city. Autobergs occur pretty much on a daily, unfortunately. After that, it would just be we had a couple assaults, and it looks like a commercial burg and a residential burglary that took the top 5 as far as the top incident reports in the last 30 days. But that's a 38% drop as compared to the previous. And it looks like in the last 30 days in the Point Richmond area, there was only 2 arrests. And again, that's a 50% drop. So, yeah, those are your numbers for the last 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
Thank you. I'd like to ask, and I'll mention it again in a moment. We are doing Coffee with a Cop on Saturday morning at 10:30 at the community center. It's open house, so you can drop in, hang around, speak with your neighbors. Will either of you be able to attend that, do you think?
I unfortunately will not be there. My son has a game. That's my normal day off, and yeah, unfortunately, I'll be with my son and at his baseball game.
Okay.
Philip, I'll be in attendance. I'll be there on Saturday.
Great. We look forward to capping you up, and Santa Fe is providing the snacks. So if you don't like them, you can talk to Vernon and Linda. James, you had a question?
Yes.
No, I don't have any questions. Do you guys have any questions for me at this time?
Other James. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
James Chesarak.
Can you elaborate on the Todd Hotel standoff?
I was just about to say that.
Well, what kind of questions do you have as far as that's concerned? I can kind of give you just a brief rundown. Somebody who had a warrant went into the Todd Hotel. Officers were made aware of this subject was inside. We did everything we could to actually evacuate all the individuals that were inside just to isolate the situation. Then we did a call out and we surrounded and called out the subject, and he came out peacefully and he was taken into custody. That's basically the Reader's Digest version. Do you have any specific questions as far as that's concerned?
Officer Moody? The report that Sergeant or Lieutenant Dacius, I can't remember since his
Lieutenant.
promotion, Donovan sent, indicated that the fire the next day was an electrical fire. Do you know if that, can you confirm that? Because there's a lot of
Yes,
gossip.
Yeah, I saw the call for service. It looked like there was a fire in that same apartment, number 29, and that was on 613. And it looked like it was an electrical fire, I believe, is what
Okay.
down to.
That's what Michelle Milan mentioned, and you know that the police reported what the fire department said. Lisa?
Is 900 West Cutting still the #1 most frequent incident location?
Officer Tacorda, is that what we came up with?
Yeah, it still gets calls, but they're usually just disturbance calls. There's nothing really significant as far as, I mean, we do get calls there, and it's just like I reported the last meeting. It's usually because someone doesn't want to leave when it's time to check out, but nothing really significant as far as, you know, crime wise, other than just someone not willing to check out when they're supposed to.
Officer Tagorda, do you think that that property is on par with similar motels with a similar clientele and kind of the similar expense? Or would you, I mean, I know this is a vague answer, would you consider it to be kind of a problematic version of a motel?
Well, I could say it's not as problematic as some of the hotels that we have downtown. So again, it's the calls over there are very minimal as compared to some of the hotels that we have downtown. The Civic Center, it is one I can think of, which gets calls daily and they're more significant. And yeah, so it's I think it's doing pretty good if we're going to compare it to other hotels in the area.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions before we let the guys get some sleep? They are on mandatory overtime now. No? So, Officer Moody, we look forward to giving you good quality Pete's coffee donated by the Roma Cafe. Notice how I put that ad in there. And whatever snacks Santa Fe provides. And Officer Tagorda, hopefully we'll see you on National Night Out.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Alrighty.
fantastic. Thank you. Looking
Gentlemen,
forward to seeing
thank
you
you
on
so
Saturday.
much for your service.
Take care.
All right, take
All
care,
right,
guys.
thank
Have a
you
good
so
evening.
Have a good one.
Alrighty. So let me do the president's report really quickly. I just would like to mention again that we are off for the month of July. So there will be no July meeting. When we return, Edie Sellers has been working on putting us on MailChimp, which means that it doesn't affect the way what you're going to or it doesn't, you don't need to do anything, but when we send out these newsletters with the links, it's going to be much easier. So instead of the regular email where you have to click on the newsletter, all of that is going to be laid out in front of you. You'll open up your email, really nice button that says click here to join the meeting. And you just click there. If you need to pay your dues, which are due in the month of May, you'll be able to click on there. You'll be able to click onto our website, and you'll be able to click to our YouTube channel. So that's going to hopefully, I don't see any reason. We almost had it this month. As soon as we just work out some of the details, we hope to have a more efficient way for you to read that. Did you have a question, Graham?
Phil, yes. This seems to be about the best place I can see for it, about the LUDRC. I was just wondering what has happened there.
I made a mistake. That
yeah.
was last month's newsletter, and I didn't take it out.
Okay, but there's nothing to report from the LUDRC this month.
There is, and it concerns Keller Beach, but just appointments that we're going to make.
I
But-
want to make an announcement.
Yes,
July
Frank.
21st is my birthday, and I want you all to come on down to the hotel, whatever, and celebrate my birthday. I will be 90 years old in July.
Whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah, that's my report.
Okay, we'll pick that up at the end with the time and location again. Graham,
Okay.
hang on to the LUDRC. What I was trying to stress is that the LUDRC is not reporting on the items that were listed. So there's no new projects. But, Charmaine and I will touch on the Keller Beach thing in a minute. When we
Okay,
get there.
fine, thank you.
Yes, so on your next emails, hopefully it'll be a lot easier and more intuitive to use. I do want to point out that these meeting links will be the same every month from now on. Edie has put in a reoccurring meeting. So if you ever have trouble finding the link, which you shouldn't because of our new system, but if you do, it's the same month after month moving forward. Coffee with a Cop tomorrow at the community center next to the library. Coffee is sponsored by Roma Cafe. Thank you very much. It was actually about $100 worth of peeps. So it was a nice donation.
You said time? What time?
It starts at 10:30 and it's done open house style. So there are no speeches. You can come and you can talk to the beat officers. Police Chief Bisa French is going to try to attend. I wouldn't count on it. She's a bit busy, but she's going to try. Caesar is going to try to attend, Councilmember Caesar, and Michelle Malam or one of her team will hopefully be there at 10:30, sometime between 10:30 and 12, to help us set up our neighborhood watch groups. I do want to point out that Mary Lee and David Cole are already organized in their neighborhood, and they're going to kind of be there to work with other neighbors who want to set up neighborhood watch groups. I know Paige is doing it. And I appreciate that those neighbors actually helped us by handing out flyers. It's a little time consuming. It's not hard, but if one person wants to hit every neighborhood, it could take days. So I was really glad to hand a stack of flyers to those folks and have them pass out those flyers. Anna, did you have a question?
Just it's Saturday, June 29th. You had said tomorrow. So it's
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Saturday, June 29th, 10:30 in the morning till noon to 12:30. Kind of come and go. Sit with us, have some coffee, catch up. Some of our members miss live meetings. Now we're having one, and it's social. And it's a chance for us to talk. I will be there the whole time. There will be officers throughout the day from the PRNC. All of us except one will be there. So you can talk to us and we can write down your concerns and bring them up to the next meeting. So I thank you, Anna, for pointing out. My brain is totally fried. We are also going to have National Night Out. It is always the first Tuesday in August. So it's Tuesday the 6th this year. 5:30 on Park Place, same format. We're hoping to take advantage of the city's new grant program to have some more activities, but it's going to be a surprise, which means we don't know if we can pull ourselves together in time. So we'll try to do that. If you have a business, or if you're a community organization, or if you are an artist or you sell your candles, as long as it's not food, please feel free to contact me through the PRNC. Call me, stop me, grab Margie Sullivan because she's coordinating this. And we're happy to let you have a parking space to set up your table, tent, or booth. So there's no charge for that. I'm hoping the weather will make up for the terrible spring fling rains we had last time. So that's all that I've got to report. So I think we can move on now and start our meeting with treasurer's report from Margie. You're on mute, Margie. You're still on mute, Margie.
Okay. We have over $16,000 in the bank, which is great. And we have also some outstanding donations promised from Chevron and some other people for the spring fling and for the tunnel project. Of that, we have about $2,000 already earmarked for the tunnel project for the signage. And we have $3,500 earmarked from the Great Gateway Foundation to fertilize, add water bags, put rubber mesh around the existing trees and plant 5 more trees, which we plan to do around the triangle this summer. That's the treasure report.
Thank you so much, Margie. And I forgot to mention the signage project. For those of you who are interested in sponsoring our signage, by this time next week, there will be a large banner right outside the tunnel on the fence. It is going to show you what the project is and describe it. I will also have a copy of that banner, hopefully, on Saturday morning. So that's an exciting project. I know we've sent some things about that. Eric could not make it. He's traveling today. So he asked me to mention that we have one new member, and it's still a good time to remember to pay your dues if you haven't done so. The easiest way is just to click on membership at the PRNC.pointrichmond.org website and pay by PayPal or drop a check in the mail to the address that's listed there. So now we're ready for our guest speaker, who had a grueling late night city council meeting last night. I would like, for those of you who don't know her, to introduce Pamela Christian. We can ask questions about how the clerk's office works, but I think she's got a little PowerPoint presentation that she would like to screen share, Edie. Welcome, Pamela. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And what I'll do is I can share the PowerPoint with you, Philip, and you can distribute it as to anyone.
Okay, it should go to Edie. So it will, Edie, will it go to the
Actually,
host?
Pamela, you can share it from your own screen under share screen. There should be a green button that says share screen.
Right, but after
the fact, yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Oh, you'll send it to me.
Right.
Oh, thank you. Great.
Okay. Can you see?
We can. Thank you.
Okay, this is a presentation about the city clerk's office. And some of the things that I'll cover are you'll meet the clerks of the city clerk's office, organization chart, a pool, the clerk reports to, the department programs and services, our accomplishments, goals, city council meeting, city council recess, city council agenda process, procedures for removing items from consent, and the infamous public comment procedure. And I'll talk about our November 5th, 2024 election. And this is our staff. We have a staff of 4, consists of the city clerk and 3 deputy city clerks, Jaswara Castaneda, Ursula Deloa, and Sabrina Lundy. And these ladies are the best employees that I have ever worked with. And the information below is our main number. And once you call that number, please press 9 if you want to get directly to the city clerk's office. Otherwise, you'll go into a loop. There's the city clerk's department email address. We're located at 450 Civic Center Plaza on the 3rd floor in Suite 300. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5 p.m. And we do have a passport number. If you want to make an appointment for a new passport, that's the number. Okay. The City of Richmond organization chart. There are 3 officials that report directly to the city council, and they include the city manager, the city attorney, and the city clerk. And all other city departments report directly to the city manager. Our department programs and services, the city clerk's office, we serve as a link between the public and local government. And we pride ourselves in offering support, help, care, friendly, quality customer service. And some of our services include we accept on a daily basis claims against the city, subpoenas, boards and commission applications for appointments and reappointments. I am the election official. It would be me or any of the deputies. Responsibilities, we are responsible for updating, numbering, and maintaining ordinances or resolutions, providing access to legislative meeting information. We receive the economic interest forms, that's the Form 700, the campaign and other financial disclosure related filings like the 460s for anyone running for office. We have those, we take those forms, and Form 410, a 501, your intent to run for office. We are responsible for staffing the city council meetings, agenda, package preparation, distribution, and publishing. And we are in a passport acceptance center. Let's see, and that's for new US passports only. In fiscal year 2023 to 2024, we launched a Next Request, and that is a system to help us with public records request. So we continue to manage that system. We restarted our passport services last year. We provide now we provide translated agendas in Spanish. We held our first boards and commission live training last year. And we started a contract with Gladwell Government to begin the process to update our records retention schedule. It hasn't been updated since 2008. And we administered the Form 700 filing by April 2nd of this year. Some of our goals include preparing and successfully administering the November 5th, 2024 general election. And they are the districts that will be up for election will be District 1, District 5, and District 6.
Pamela, are you aware that you're not sharing your screen at this point?
Oh, no.
Let's try again. We were, and then we weren't.
I can see her screen.
Oh, okay. It's me then. Sorry.
Is everyone else seeing her screen?
I see it.
Okay.
Okay, I made a mistake.
I see it.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll continue.
I apologize.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so then we are planning a swearing in and in-person swearing in celebration this year. And that will take place January 7th of 2025. We launched a demo of NetFiles, excuse me. It's a new boards and commission tracking system, and we hope to be their guinea pig when they launch it. The records retention schedule, we plan to bring that to the council for adoption on September 10th of 2024. Council meetings. The council has regular meetings on the 1st, the 3rd, and the 4th Tuesday of every month. And any future or regular special meetings may be canceled by a vote of the majority of the members of the city council during a regular or special meeting. So they no longer can be canceled by the mayor. There has to be a vote to cancel a meeting. The evening sessions are scheduled or agendized to begin at 6:30. And they are scheduled to be adjourned by 11, but you know, as we see, sometimes we go past 11. They have to take a vote, a majority vote to extend past 11, and they have to announce which items they want to complete by 11:30. The council is supposed to end at 11:30 unless they have a 2/3 vote to extend. They have to suspend their rules and then extend the meeting, and they have to state which items they want to complete. Now, do you want me to take questions now or wait until the end?
At the end, Pam.
Okay.
At the end.
All right.
Thank you.
The fourth Tuesday, we try to reserve that for study session items, presentations, proclamations, commendations, and any time sensitive items that is expected to take more than an hour. Special meetings may be called at any time by the mayor or a majority of the city council. Okay, council recess. The council usually recesses in August, but they'll be going on an early recess due to council members' unavailability during the month of July. So our next regular meeting will be July 2nd, and it will be in person and hybrid. And the July 16th and July 23rd meetings have been canceled. We will be on recess for the full month of August, and we will return on September 10th to a regular meeting. City council agenda process. So any items, I got a little misspelling right there. Items may be placed on the council agenda by the mayor, the council members, city attorney, the city clerk, the city manager, and that includes all of her direct reports. They can place items on the agenda. Before the staff places any items on the agenda, they have to obtain a legal opinion. And it takes about 2 weeks for final process of one agenda item. The items, they go through a workflow and they begin with the department head. Then it moves on to finance because they have to make sure that the money is there. It goes to legal. Legal has 2 eyes on it. So they look at it before it gets into our system. And then once it gets into a system, another attorney looks at that item. And then it goes to staff in the city manager's office before it gets to the city manager. And after the city manager approves the item, it goes to the clerk for final production and publication of the agenda. The city council members have a Wednesday noon deadline before the Tuesday meeting to submit all required documents. And then once all the documents are there, the clerk compiles agenda items and produces and publishes the agenda packet. Our publishing date is supposed to be on Thursday, but because of these canceled meetings, we have been publishing on Friday because there's a big push to get all these items completed before the council goes on recess. Second. Procedures for removing items from the consent calendar. So a member of the public can remove an item or request an item be removed from the consent calendar. But first you have to discuss that item with a staff member, and the staff member should be listed on the agenda or by phone or back and forth email discussion. And that needs to be done by 2 p.m. the day of the meeting. You should always copy the city clerk's office so we know that you are interested in removing something. If you can't get a hold of that staff member, then you've copied the city clerk's office so they can start getting a hold of that staff member also. And then the city council, they can remove an item. All they have to do is say they want to remove the item. It would be great if they would provide questions to the staff so the staff could be prepared, but they're not required to do so.
Pamela,
Yes.
I'd like to interrupt quickly. If you would just explain for those who aren't familiar with the terminology, what the consent calendar means, and maybe give an example of why somebody would want to pull an item.
Okay, so the consent calendar is supposed to be for items that are non-controversial. So you may have a resolution, you may have minutes, you may have proclamations, contracts that are not over $100,000, just different things like that. And if someone saw something on the consent calendar and the contract was so the money amount was really, was a lot, you wanted an explanation of it and more conversation with the public, then you may want to pull that item.
So is it correct that things that are on the consent calendar would be passed all at once,
all at once.
unless we or the council members request that it be pulled.
Right. The consent calendar, we list so many things on the consent calendar, and the July 2nd agenda will be full of consent calendar items. So if there's something there that you want to pull, if you receive that agenda on Friday, you probably want to start looking, start sending your emails. Friday, you have Fridays, you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday before 2 p.m. The consent calendar, they take a motion, a second, and they approve all of the items at once. So
Thank
those
you for
items are
clarifying
not
that.
discussed unless they're
Thank-
pulled off. If that item is pulled off, it goes to the end of the agenda. So just keep that in mind too, unless the council moves it up, because they don't think it'll take long to discuss.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Next, public comment. There's 4 ways to provide public comment. Email the clerk's office. You have to include in the subject, public comment, agenda item, and then list that item. There's e-comments. E-comment, you provide that on the agenda, directly on the agenda item. So you can go to the list of agendas, click the agenda you want, go to the HTML format, and go to that item. And there should be a button that it's like a balloon or a comment icon. Click on that and leave your comments. We collect all the comments that we receive by 1 o'clock. We collect all those and we send those to the council before the meeting. So 1 o'clock comes, we gather all the comments. By 1:30, all those comments are sent to the council to read. You can also provide in-person comments. And the thing about in-person comments, you have to sign up, you have to file a pink speaker card with the clerk prior to the item being announced. Once the item is announced, then you will not be permitted to speak if you come up and bring a speaker card. You will have 2 minutes to address the council unless the time is reduced or increased by the council. And you'll have 3 minutes to address the council if it's a public hearing. So then there's Zoom. Zoom, if you want to provide public comments via Zoom, once I announce the item, you probably want to raise your hand then. But I'll ask anyone who would like to provide comments via Zoom to raise your hand. And then what we do is we take the comments, the in-person comments first. Then we move to the Zoom speakers. So if you wait until we move to the Zoom speakers and then you want to raise your hand, you're considered late. If we start calling speakers, you are considered late and we will not call you. So I think that's where a lot of people get messed up. They wait until we start calling Zoom and then they want to raise their hand, but we've already collected the speakers that we know are on time to provide their public comment via Zoom. We have an election, a general election coming up on November 5th. And it will be for districts 1, council members for districts 1, district 5, and district 6. And it's for full term, 4-year full term. And let's see, the nomination period for the candidates, it will begin on Tuesday, July 15th, 2024, and it will end at 5 p.m. Friday, August 9th, 2024, and it will be by appointments only. You will only be able to pull papers if you make an appointment. If an incumbent does not file, the nomination period will be extended to 5 p.m. Wednesday, August 14th. It will be only for the district the council member did not file papers for, and it will be for non-incumbents only. So we I don't know if you all know, but Gail McLaughlin will not be running for her seat in District 5. So that district, that filing period for that district will be extended to August 14th. We have some current initiatives that will be on the ballot. There's the Richmond Election Reform Act, and then there's the refinery tax ordinance. If you would like to register to vote, the deadline is October 21st, and there is a link to do that. And you can see the text on the two initiatives if you visit the clerk's page. The clerk's page is, the link is provided at the end. And that's it.
Thank you. That was organized, as would be expected. We we have a question from Lisa Johnson.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Pam. Thank you. Okay, so I am excited to hear that you guys are going to be moving the boards and commissions to NetFile. So I have a couple questions related to that. Will you, it sounds like you're going to be a beta tester?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the beta phase,
Lisa, please, in English.
Speak
Speak English.
guinea pig. We'll be their guinea pig.
Thank
you
you.
said that they're going to help demo it before I think they release it to more. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So my questions, I have a couple related to this. One is the plan when it goes to NetFile that you will be able to see historical appointments, including the lengths of their term or terms?
Okay, that I do not know. I'll have to get the answer to that.
Can you let me know when you find out?
Yes.
Okay. And then another key one, which I have talked to you and the city attorney's office about this, because this is a problem that I have with the process, is will the applications process be a fillable online application as well? And the reason why I'm asking that is, will the system make it such that an application can't be submitted unless it is filled in completely? Number one. And then number two, when the public then sees it online, I know you guys in the back end will have one view and the public will have another view. For those of you who don't know, when you apply for a position on a board or commission, you give personal information that should be redacted.
Right.
And so, and also you have references who are supposed to submit the same types of personal information, which includes your phone number and your email address, as well as your full address. And so my question will be, will then the process for redaction be consistent so that the city and zip code is always viewable for the applicant and the referees?
Okay. Yes.
I think that would eliminate a lot of headaches in this process and make it standardized if NetFile can do that. That's a huge thing.
Because NetFile, right now, they do that for our Form 700s. They do the redacting. There's two. There's one that we see on our side, and then there's the redacted version that is automatically redacted that the public sees.
Yeah, and for those of you that may or may not know this, for the vast majority of the boards and commissions in the city of Richmond, you have to be a resident of the city of Richmond. And so that's why it's important to list your city. And if you just list the zip code, it's also problematic because some zip codes go across city borders. Some from Richmond apply to El Cerrito, and some from Richmond apply to San Pablo. So that is why it's important that people should be putting down the city in addition to the zip code. So that's why I'm kind of giving some things, which has been a problem in this process. And then one last question, which I heard you when you said on the consent, did the council increase that now anything over, it used to be 10K limit when on the consent for a contract, it's now 100K?
Oh, no. Anything less than 10,000 does not get on the agenda. The city manager can approve that. Anything over 10K The
Okay,
council has to approve. That's why you see so many items.
perfect. And one last, I forgot it, written it up here. If somebody, and this speaks to process, because I know I've had an issue and other people have had issues. So when you are a Zoom attendee for the council meeting and you raise your hand when it's called, and I know that I have accidentally lowered my hand by hitting the wrong button. So what happens if you re-raise your hand? Do you guys know that, they drop their hand, they re-raise it, or are they completely off from speaking?
No, we do recognize when a person has raised their hand, then they lowered it, then they raised it again. Believe me, they take a snapshot.
Okay, so that
take a
you would
snapshot.
allow that person, if they do
Yes.
raise their hand, they can speak.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you clarified that. That's it. Thank you, Pam.
Jim Davis.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. I do historical research on the city of Richmond in World War II, and I've been trying to find city council records, and I'm wondering if you archive those in your office. Do you make them? If so, do you make them available for research?
Yes, there is a system. We used to have a system called Sire, and then there is a link to Sire documents on our website. I can send that link also with this PowerPoint
Great.
page,
Well,
because
so,
our documents go back to 1905, I believe.
so we can access those online.
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
And
Okay,
anytime you can't find something, send an email to the city clerk's office and tell us what you're looking for.
Thank you. That's
If you
great.
can't find it, then we will do research to look for that item, to look for that document.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anna.
So my question was, I might be under a false assumption about something, is on consent calendar, let's say you have 10 items on consent calendar, and it's a mass vote. Can a council member, instead of abstaining completely, if they don't agree with one of the 10 items, can they abstain from that one item, but then vote to pass for the rest?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, they can say, please show me as voting no on items, whatever it is, or abstaining on an item, and then we'll show that in the record.
Thank you.
What a great question, Anna. Pamela, I have a couple questions. Recently, some permit information was put in front of me, specific permit numbers, and I've been trying to pull them up on, is it called eTrackIt?
eTrackIt.
And I have tried by address and I have tried by using those actual numbers. If I have specific permits that I want to see, is that something I can email to you to see if you can find them? Or do I have to go through permit, the department that would have issued permit?
Yes, you have to go through that department. You have to go through the community development department.
And so you have nothing to do with eTrackIt?
No. If you're looking for a specific permit, you can send us in, well, you can go online and put in a records request.
Okay.
You go through there that way.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was a faster way, than have to make somebody do that research. But so when the records requests come through your department?
The records request will come through, well, you have to go online and go through next request, put in your request. We see that request in our office, and then we will farm it out to the appropriate department to
Thank you.
handle. Yeah,
I always kind of wondered how that went. And the other question I have is maybe a little bit of a comment, and I've actually spoken to you about this. Once in a while, people will want to speak on public forum, but there might be an agenda item as well. And so I've noticed that, during public forum, you can't speak on an agenda item. You have to wait till that item comes up.
Yes.
So recently there was something very passionate for our neighborhood on the Keller Beach project. And we had a lot of folks waiting on the line to make comments. And there was just a little bit of a confusion. So, we were kind of doing a text thing saying, raise your hand now. So I just want you to I want to clarify, do you make an announcement when it's time to raise your hand, particularly for Zoom people?
Mhm.
You know, okay, now we're going on to item XYZ. Raise your hand if you want to comment on it, or
Right. So when an item comes up, I will let the council know. I'll read the item into the record. Let the council know we have 10 speakers in person, and then I'll announce if you are joining us online and you want to make a comment on this item, please raise your hand at this time. So
Okay.
I've been trying to, once I come to almost the end of the speakers in person, because I have pink cards in front of me so I can tell, so our last speaker in person will be such and such, then we'll move to the online speakers. If you want to address the council on this item, please raise your hand at this time. So I may make 2 announcements for that item, just for the Zoom speakers. So that
thank you. I think it's become more clear. I
Mhm.
think it's become more clear over the years, but I've missed the opportunity to talk, and I like to talk.
Well, let me tell
Any
you, some people will come in the chambers and they'll miss their opportunity. They'll go out and get on Zoom and sign up that
Log in.
way, so you could be savvy.
And one last question, is there any way that it is possible for me not to always follow that guy with the trashy mouth and the homophobic comments? Because I am always speaking after him.
He gets there early. So he gets there early and he signs up, and it's like we can't do anything about him making his comments. We've asked legal about it. So if he gets really, really loud, then we'll just turn off his mic, and the mayor has started putting him out, so he's going to continue. He is going to continue.
One good thing is
when he
he makes us look sane.
yeah, when he comes, I'll ask him, Mark, are you going to be are you going to behave tonight? Well, I can't. I can't do that. We'll try.
How did you know I was talking about Mark?
Oh, it was
Anna.
I've heard him say when I watch the meetings, he'll say, "Have you met me? Like, do you know who I am?" Of course. Mine's not a question so much as a comment to thank Pam. I've unfortunately in my life had to sit in those chambers for personal reasons, and I just want to thank you for. It's a lot that you and your team do, and I don't think people really realize how much work there is behind getting that crisp packet and the meeting flowing. And you guys do it with such grace and kindness. And I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Here. Pamela, thank you so much for joining our neighborhood council meeting. Go home and or if you're I'm assuming you're at home.
I'm at home. Does Lisa still have a question? Yeah, because your hand is up, Lisa.
No, I think she was doing here. Thank you so much for joining us. Get some rest.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, her department rocks. Okay, let's go on to community briefs. Fran Smith, I know you have a show that I am coming to see on Sunday. You're muted. Cordell, unmute Fran.
What show is
Here
it
it
you're coming?
is.
What show is it you're coming to see on Sunday?
Something port or place or
Claiborne Park.
Claiborne Park. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we will be delighted to have you and bring all your friends because we love it when we fill up the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty.
And it's my turn for the RNCC. So this month we've had a pretty good turnout. So we had 10 in the chambers, counting the audience. So and then 23 on Zoom. That's impressive. So for this month's meeting, we had Stephanie Knight that came to talk to us about the Neighbor to Neighbor grant, and they got a grant for $750,000 worth, and I'm like, whoa, because I mean they had to divide the money out of 20 neighborhood councils, and out of the 20, Point Richmond, Park Plaza, Lower Park, and other neighborhood councils have received a grant up to $16,000, and I'm like, this is fantastic. And I say 16 grand can do a lot for the community. So, and then what else? We mentioned, so under old business, we talked about the policies for the RNCC. So, but under new business, I had mentioned the fact to invite Charles Gerard to come and speak to us at a future meeting to tell us what he has plans for the port. And so it was an idea that I was going back for when Eduardo came to us in November of last year, and that was helpful. So the next RNCC meeting will be July the 8th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. And that's pretty much it. And any questions from the membership?
Yeah, it was a good meeting.
I know, pretty good turnout too.
Okay, Gary is not around. So we'll switch over to Graham. What's going on the Red Oak?
Yes, thanks, Phil. Well, first of all, our Father's Day pancake breakfast was a huge success. Unsurprisingly, the mimosas were the biggest seller. I don't know how many fathers had to be carried off the ship, but there are probably quite a few. Then on 6th of June, 80th anniversary of D-Day, we had 80 guests turn up to watch the movie The Longest Day, which was, I think, one of our records for that. So thank you for everybody who came along. Our next pancake breakfast will be on August the 11th. And once again, you're all invited to come. We don't have a lot happening at the moment. We just will be open on Sundays as usual, 10 o'clock until 4 o'clock. So if you have a quiet Sunday or some visitors in town, please come and see us. And we haven't quite established our movie series for summer and fall as yet. But hopefully at the next meeting, I'll be able to give you a bit more news on that. So once again, if nothing to do on a Sunday afternoon, please come down and join us. Thank you.
I just want to comment, Graham, because I've started to come to some of the activities. If you haven't done the Red Oak Victory and you're saying, oh, maybe I'm not interested in this oldie movie, it's not just the activity or the movie that they're showing. It is the feeling of being with the people who go there. And whatever it is that they're doing is the bonus. Just being there with those people, watching those movies, learning a few facts is really well worth the trip. I lived here almost 30 years before the first time I stepped on the ship. And so I just want to comment, it's really worth doing. Thanks so much, Graham.
Phil, just before you go, most of the guys on the ship are ex-Navy. And so they know the sea and they know the ship. And one of the funniest events we had was of one guy who turned up, and he was on one of the last voyages the Red Oak Victory took over to Vietnam. And since it's mixed company, I won't pass on some of the stories he told. But once again, come down and talk to some of these folks because they know the sea and they know the ship. And they just love wanting to explain to everybody what the Victory ships and the Liberty ships did during the war, because it tends to be overlooked.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that.
Graham.
Yeah.
Way better than the sum of the parts.
Yeah.
Oh, Graham.
My buddy over here wants to say something.
Yeah.
Yes, Graham. Graham, I already know what they're going to show for the movies in the fall. So Saving Private Ryan in mid-September.
Oh, are they?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a great movie.
I know, it's a 98 movie.
Okay.
That's a great movie. So please come down and join us. And look, by the way, if you do come, the seats are a little hard. They're designed for school children. So bring along a cushion.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bring another cushion, he said.
Yeah, bring a cushion.
All right, Diane, what's new with Women's West Side?
Well, we don't meet in July and August, but I forgot to mention last month about our legacy ladies who are 90 or older. And so I think I have to wait till the end because one of them passed. So maybe I should wait till the end.
Why don't we just skip to it since you're
Okay,
talking
thank you.
about these special
Of
ladies?
course, as you heard, our newest member is Fran, who will be 90 on July the 21st, and we welcomed her with a lap robe that is handmade by one of our members. And but also we honored, and I did 8.5 by 11 pictures and had them on exhibit with Alpha Humphrey, who's 91, Pat Pearson, 94, and will turn 95 in December. Barbara Robertson, 94, Martha Belowski, 103, and it will be 104 in July. And then the passing of our dear Mary Bianchi Highfield at 100 years old in May. So they're beautiful ladies, and I forgot to honor them and mention that. And thank you for giving me that time to do that.
Pleasure. We'll miss Mary. She was a fixture in the community. Peter,
Wait,
Peter,
Diane,
ping
Oh,
pong.
Anna's got her
Sorry,
hand up.
Anna, I didn't see that.
typing some of those last names into the chat just so I can capture there so I won't spell them wrong. Of the birthday people.
Diane, you're muted. Do you know how to use chat?
I will try it.
Okay.
You can just type their names right into the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We were at Peter ping pong.
Yeah, so still going strong. 2 weekends ago, or two Mondays ago, we didn't have anybody, and I ended up going home early. But this last Monday we had 8 or 9 people and played till 9 o'clock. So it's the first Monday, or it's every Monday at 5 o'clock to whenever at the Point San Pablo Yacht Club on Cutting. Just drive up to the gate, press the button, and we let you in. You don't have to be able to play ping pong as long as you can hold a paddle. That's all that counts. But we have some people that are decent. The other day we had a couple from Ukraine show up, and they're very good ping pong players, it turns out. So that was a lot of fun. And our oldest ping pong player is 87. And I think I might be one of the younger ones. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's as much a social thing as anything, and it's free. Anyway, that's it.
And you can just drink if you don't want to play ping pong, right? Sit in front of the fire and have a.
You don't have to play ping pong. Nobody's going to force you to play ping pong. You can come and have a glass of wine or beer or a mixed drink if I know how to make it. Like I said, there's no charge for anything. We even have a variety of snacks you can buy from the bar. Nothing's very expensive. And it's a beautiful view of the canal. It's the friendly little yacht club at the end of the canal. That's what it's called. So, and you know, when I first started doing this ping pong club thing, maybe 2 years ago, nobody ever showed up on Mondays. The beginning of the week at the club was basically empty. And since we've been doing this, it's actually taken on a life of its own. We have club members who come up just because of the social aspect, and they sit around and they like to talk. The Rear Commodore played ping pong for the first time last Monday. So anyway, if you don't have anything to do, if you just want to meet your neighbors or some new folks, or you want to start a new exercise regime, this is one way to do it.
Thank you, Peter. Next up, we have Jim from Rosie the Riveter.
Yes, well, we have the usual program going on at Rosie on Fridays, where there are docents available to meet with you, answer questions. One subject that they cover routinely is the Japanese internment during World War II. We have some people there who have had personal experience with that. And then the Rosies also show up on Friday mornings. I will be lecturing first tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. The first time I've lectured on African Americans in World War II, and there'll be a special section on Richmond in that talk, and that will be tomorrow at 2:30. Then next month, on July 11th at 2:30, will be gays, lesbians, and drag shows in World War II. And that will
Repeat that date.
that will be on Thursday, July the 11th at 2:30. And then 2 weeks from then will be Dust Bowl migrants to Richmond from the Southwest to the second lecture. Incidentally, I've created a new mailing list. If anybody wants to get information about either of these lectures or the film series aboard the ship, let me give out my email address and you can email me and I will add you to that email list and put out information so you can capture it. If you can email me at jimmsjc at hotmail.com, I will see that you join that list and you will regularly hear about the film series that Graham mentioned. We're going to be doing the 80th anniversary of 1944, which explains Saving Private Ryan. We're also doing a wonderful romantic comedy about D-Day, if you can believe such a film, The Americanization of Emily, and then we'll end with Patton. So all of those films deal with the year 1944 as a kind of 80th anniversary recognition, and those will all be at 7 o'clock. And if you want the dates and so on, and I put out information about the films, just send me an email and I'll see that you get on the list and you can get a full dose of the information.
Thanks, Jim. Will you drop that email address into the chat, please?
Thank you.
I can do that.
That was Anna's question. I knew it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Sorry, I turned my paper upside down. LUDRC. I'm actually going to kind of jump in here because Rod and I, wait, something weird. We're speaking in English. Wow. Okay. I don't know what this means. Okay, so here's the story. And since Graham and Charmaine are really on top of this, I'm actually going to tell you what's going on and ask what you would like us to do. Caesar, Councilmember Caesar Cepeda, arranged for the Assistant Deputy Public Works Director to speak on the progress or lack thereof of the Keller Beach Sewer Project. We are not meeting in July, and he is not available in August, which means we wouldn't hear from him in September, until September. And then they're very shy in speaking to the public. So I feel that if we had him come for a brief update, he wouldn't answer many other questions about other public works projects. I just have that feeling. So I would like to propose that we set up a special LUDRC meeting. We can publicize it as we do with any special meeting. Rod is willing to facilitate it. And that way, at least we get an answer in the next 4 to 6 weeks instead of waiting months. Is that a good idea, Graham?
I certainly think so. Now, who will be able to attend the LUDRC meeting? Is it open to everybody? Because we have
it will be open and publicized the way we always do those. It's just not going to be attached. It's not going to be attached to a PRNC meeting. It's just so. Here's what I'm suggesting. If Charmaine, as secretary, and Rod can reach out to you, Graham, if you would be willing to get all the group together.
Yes, I
and
will.
Pick a few dates when it works for Rod to facilitate, and then Charmaine and I can get together and I will contact Richard and we'll set up that special meeting and then we will advertise it fully as we normally do.
Okay, so do you want me to contact Rod and ask him?
I would like to ask if Charmaine would touch base with Rod.
Okay.
And then reach out to you. And if you could facilitate on behalf of Charmaine, to save the PRNC some effort, if you can get that out to the Keller Beach mailing list, because it's really that mailing list that you have, email list, and the word of mouth in the community.
Okay.
And then the PRNC will publicize this as we would any other special meeting.
Okay, so I'll wait then to hear from Rod and or Charmaine then.
Yeah, I'll be
Charmaine?
contacting you. And is Caesar also going to be at this meeting? In other words, I'm going to coordinate Rod's schedule, Graham's schedule, your schedule, and is it also Caesar's schedule?
I think,
I would think it'd be very useful if Caesar turned up because
yeah,
Okay.
he wants to be there. So I don't know what, Charmaine, you and I can talk later. It may be easier to get Robert Orejo to give us dates or to have Caesar coordinate with Robert. The challenge is it all falls apart if we can't do it on our end.
yeah.
So that's the challenge. So here's my commitment. She's Charmaine, I will be with Charmaine all Saturday morning. We'll make sure to figure out, and Charmaine's super organized, how to best set this meeting up. I just want to let you know, I don't want to wait 3 months.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, because even if the answer is the same, blah, 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 at least they're on record and we've got a recording of the meeting. And then the PRNC, if there's recommendation by the LUDRC, we can send that letter out and keep that in front of the city council. Some of you know that when we send letters to the city council, if I can, I will show up at the meeting and read that letter into public record. So that, you know, it's because the council members really don't read that stuff.
Yep.
Except for Caesar. So I think.
Okay.
So anyway,
Bill, is this a Zoom meeting?
But
it'll be a Zoom meeting, and
it will be.
Edie can set it up the same way we did the last one, so that Rod can host. So anyway, we're on it, Graham. It's just the wheels turn slowly, and there's a lot of balls in the air.
Sure.
So thanks for letting me update you on that.
Thanks, Phil.
And while we have Charmaine unmuted, what's going on with CERT?
We're taking this summer to get organized. We have a number of events during the year and we want to organize the events and also try to prepare for a fall training class. So we're doing that. And in addition, we had what? Oh, it looks like I'm speaking in Spanish, it says.
Yeah, something weird.
It's very interesting. Okay. Anyway, we had
I think that's the AI feature that's kicking in the background, I think.
Yahoo! So I have something good to report, and that is that we have a new antenna and mast at Brickyard Landing Clubhouse for our safety committee. We cannot transmit by radio to Civic Center for City of Richmond to contact them. So we have this really high antenna and mast now, and we had a drill today to test it, and we're able to get over the hill and to contact Richmond City Center. So it was a pretty interesting drill. It was as if there was an earthquake in City of Richmond, and we had people from all over the city reporting in and testing that communication. So that went pretty well. And that's all the news I have.
Okay. I'm going to speak just briefly, sort of on behalf of the Business Association, because somebody should. And remind you all that the music festival, which the PRNC sponsors financially, starts Friday. And I misplaced my notes, but apparently they're going to close both Washington Avenue and Park Place, which they've never done before, because where's Cordell with his memory? I don't know if you know this, because this is,
I'm right here.
do you know the name of that performer?
It's which one?
The first one at the music festival on Friday.
Oh, now my mind just went blank too. I was like,
Negrito.
it should be on the. Oh, I just remember what. If you go to Richmond Standard website, there should be.
I can find it more easily.
Negretto.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. This is an Emmy Award winning, I'm sorry, a multi-Grammy Award winning performer, and it is a very big deal. So get there early. If you live in the neighborhood, park your car and leave it there because it is going to be mobbed. So I just wanted to say how proud we are to to help to sponsor that, and I think it's going to be a fantastic concert on Friday on this coming Friday night.
Did you say the start time?
Say?
Did you say the start time?
I don't know, 7
It's
o'clock?
it's listed on the website
5:30.
as 5:30 to 8:30 or 8-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, 5:30, so you want to get there earlier if you want to park and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And again, if you live on Nickel Avenue, we're parking our cars and we're not leaving. Point Richmond History Association, Bonnie Joe. I remembered you this time, and Bonnie is not with us today. Arts at Point Richmond, Margie. You're muted.
Yeah, they let's say there's a lot of things going on. There's Laura's Fine Foods got a new show coming up. I think you looked at Take It Outdoors. All of the kids banners are all out around the fence around the school. Looks fantastic. There's something like, I don't know, 80 new banners downtown. I don't think you've looked at them. A lot of stuff going on. They're doing really, really well.
Thank you. And we were concerned about National Night Out, or not concerned, but everyone's so busy. A couple people have actually reached out to me. Sometimes people use my old personal email to ask about it. So hopefully we will see some of our local artists and craftsmen selling their goods and giving you an opportunity to see their work at National Night Out. Is Kate here?
Yes.
Hi, Kate. I can't see.
I am here.
Oh, there you are, right in the middle of the screen. And I did link in the newsletter this week to make sure people knew that you're up and running. What's going on?
I'm still alive. Yes. We finished the membership series in May, and the request was made to have oldies but goodies movies for the summer, which we have never done. So last month we had Run Lola Run, an awesome German film. It was free, and I opened it up to the folks downtown, and we had new people come up from wherever they were from. I'd never seen them before. So we're going to try this again in July, hopefully August. I open to what from the past that you just got to see again. So I have a long list of films I'm screening. I'm going through them again. We're going to have to pick pretty soon because we need to advertise, but that's what we're doing.
Thanks, Kate. May I nominate Cinema Paradiso?
Yes, it's an
my
awesome
all-time favorite film.
Okay, it's on the list.
And you should point out that point out where your venue is and when those shows are.
Thank you. You guys are great. I forget these things. So I'm up in the atmosphere with the issues of the film. Thank you. Wonderful. Methodist Church. Yes. Please enjoy the Friendship Hall on her wonderful, wonderful premises at the Methodist Church, the side entrance on Martinez. Thank you. 7:30, second Saturday of the month. So the next one will be July 13th.
And just a reminder, if you can't find it, there's a link in the last newsletter you received with this Zoom notice. So you can just click on that link. I don't see Layla. Anybody know anything going on with kids? I see PTA people. You can speak in her place. Erica, do you want to mention anything PTA or child related? I guess not. Okay.
She just unmuted herself.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, how are you, everybody? I say hi, and my name is Erika Cruces. But Abby is here. She's bilingual, people, because my English sometimes confuses for me, but thank you so much. I have the translation second. Abby, you here?
Yes, Erica, I'm here.
Perfect. She say hi for everybody.
Um, Hi guys. Thank you, Phil and Ford. Yeah, Layla reminded us about the meeting because if those who are familiar, both Erica are from Washington PTA, and we have a great relationship with our community, and we're so grateful for Point Richmond and supporting us with everything. And last year, not my sure if you guys remembered, we had our first ever Carmes, which was like a street festival that we had in September to kick off Hispanic Heritage Month. And we just wanted to come out and say that we were hoping to do it again, and have your guys' support and start that paperwork process a whole lot earlier than last year. Phil, you guys were amazing in helping us, get all the signatures we need to at that crunch time. But now that we know timeline and, we definitely want to be respectful of people's schedules and the community, and making sure that we're hearing any voices or concerns, and addressing them in a timely, professional manner.
Yeah, we love you and the kids, and I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's move on to homeowners. Lisa?
I think the only thing worth updating at this point is last month we heard on the Terminal 1 residential housing project. So unfortunately, the city council has moved to litigation. So it's in mediation at the moment, and God knows how long that's going to take. So the land's just going to sit there, and there's nobody to fix the horrible, unsafe intersection anymore. Nothing.
Lisa, never fear. It may take a very long time, but don't worry. It will cost millions and millions of dollars. So it's all going to be just normal. I do have a question that maybe Charmaine or Lisa or somebody else from Brickyard can answer. I had a neighbor reach out to me today, something about 24 or 16 electric car charging stations, and they were wondering if they were exclusively for Brickyard Code members. Charmaine?
We had I think it was the PG&E came in and they put in, I think there's 19 stations, but I might have the number wrong. And it's in our main parking lot at the beginning as you come into Brickyard Landing. And those are pay as you go kind of stations. So you get the card and you have to go online, and then you just can, I wanted to say fill your tank, so excuse me, charge up, okay? And at first nobody used them, and now it's becoming more and more popular. Now, if anybody happens to come to Brickyard Landing and you're going to park in that parking area, anybody can park in the zones that are for charging. If you need to charge, there's probably an empty place where you can charge. If you need to park, just park wherever there's not a car and it's not a handicap place. So can the general public use them? I don't know the answer.
Well, it sounds like it's on Brickyard Cove property.
Yes.
And so folks aren't able to park anywhere else in Brickyard Cove and go to the beach. So if you're here, I just was curious. I knew nothing about it. So thanks for that update. So I'm going to answer that it sounds like it's for residents, but we'll see if we hear some more. And then I see that we have, it's time for public forum.
I do.
Oh, Cordell, you have public forum?
Yes, I have public forum. So
and I do also see, so you don't have to raise your hand, that we have Noah. Oh, there you go. Noah, you'll be next because I know you're a new business person and we're happy to meet you. So go ahead, Cordell.
yeah, so I have some invitations for the PRNC. So here's one. The PRNC is invited to the Contra Costa Mayors Conference on October the 3rd. hosted by the city of Richmond at 6:30. So location is to be determined. So you just have to email Shiva in the mayor's office with all the info. And it's $70 a person, and that includes dinner too. Who knows what it might be? So I'll get more information by the August meeting. I'll get more on
Say
that.
the date again.
October the 3rd,
October 3rd.
right, at 6:30 p.m. And then coming up the next night, the Richmond Chamber of Commerce is having their dinner at Riggers Loft on October the 4th at 6 p.m. and it's $100 a ticket. There might be some prime rib. Mm-mm. And then let's see what else. And then coming up the next night after that is going to be the Rosie the Riveter Gala at the Salesian Boys and Girls Club, right behind the high school. So I'll get more information on that. But
Date again?
October the 5th, it's a Saturday. So there's 3 events happening, like like the first 2 days of October. And what else? Oh, I did have I did have an update regarding like the superintendent Hurst. So I'm still working on that. So I've just been down lately. So I will see what I can do, and I will send you an email, Philip, to coordinate a meeting to have the superintendent come to a future meeting to speak to us. So I still got that on my to-do list. So I should get more information by August, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Cordell. Sally was next, and then Noah.
Okay, so all of you have probably heard about sea level rise, and the city of Richmond is doing some planning around that issue. The city is applying for funding to do sea level rise planning about what adaptations are appropriate for different places along the Richmond shoreline. Richmond has 32 miles of shoreline, which is more than any other city around the bay. And we have lots of contamination, so there are issues. And so because the PRNC isn't going to meet in July or August, there will be an event just a few days after our September meeting. That event is going to be held the afternoon of Saturday, September 28th, and it's going to be a hybrid format in the city council chambers, and there are going to be speakers and lots of time for dialogue with the public, and there's also going to be lots of outreach to neighborhood councils. So let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks. And that is super interesting because some of us are right here on the line. I do want to mention that we are meeting in August. There was a little confusion. It was Robert who was not available in August. So we will meet the 3rd Wednesday or the last Wednesday in August, which will be the 28th.
Great.
So Sally, if you want, if there's a little more detail, if you can remember to email me, or just email the PRNC and fill me in a little bit on that. I'll see if I can find a way to get that to the general membership because it sounds like a pretty dramatic meeting. And now we welcome Noah.
Hi, thank you so much for welcoming me and for having me today. And thank you so much, Peter, for extending the invitation for me to be here. I'm Noah. I work at an organization called Writer Coach Connection. We are a nonprofit that brings teams of volunteers into middle schools and high schools throughout the East Bay to work with students to improve their writing and critical thinking skills. And we are super proud to work with students at 3 high schools here in Richmond, at De Anza, Kennedy, and Richmond High Schools. We specifically work with seniors there on their college essays. And we're actively recruiting volunteers all the time, but especially right now for 2024, 2025. And I really would love to bring more people from the Richmond community into our organization as volunteers. I think there's something really special about having folks make an impact on youth in their own community. So if you are interested in volunteer opportunities with youth, I would love to hear from you. I'll drop my contact information in the chat. And also, if the board is interested in having me come speak more in depth about our organization and the work we do and the impact that we have in the community in Richmond, I would love to come do that as well. But yeah, I'm going to put my information in the chat as well as our website. So I look forward to hopefully being in touch with some of you soon. Thank you so much.
Noah, could you tell us a few of the skill sets that you would be looking for in volunteers and what they might be doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So we like to say there is no like set skill requirement to volunteer with us. What we require is that you are interested in helping youth and that you believe in the power of writing as a positive force for like self-expression and for getting your ideas across. If you have an education background, that's awesome. But if you don't, we provide all the training that you would need. And in terms of what the like day-to-day is for a volunteer, we work directly in the classroom. So we're looking for folks that are available during the school day. And we go directly into English language arts classes, and each of our volunteers is paired with 1 to 2 students, and you work with them on writing assignments from their English teacher. So it's stuff they're already doing for school. You're really just there to help them process their ideas, help them with their writing, help them edit, help get their ideas across.
Thanks, Noah. I'm actually going to reach out to you because we're working on some, this is all very vague, but we're hoping to get some of this new grant money. And one of the things they identified was youth is trying to link our community to the youth community to avoid isolation. So at some point, I'd like to buy you a cup of coffee.
That would
in the next few weeks. So thanks for joining us. It's nice to have new faces.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been great, and I look forward to being in touch.
Great. Abby?
Thank you again. I'm so sorry. I realized I forgot to throw out the dates that we were looking at just to see how they work with your guys' schedule, if there's anything else conflicting. Apologize about that. After speaking to teachers, we realized that they prefer a Friday versus a Saturday because then they're just staying later after school. So we're looking at Friday, September 20th is our first date, or Friday, September 27th, if that doesn't necessarily work. But didn't necessarily know because I know you guys planning now and there's a lot of stuff on the calendar. We don't want to conflict with any other community event. So that's why I just wanted to see if those dates somehow can get put on there or let us know if one works better than the other.
Are we still in, Edie, could you pull up the Music Festival website again? Are we still in Music Festival in September?
I believe that the last date is August.
Okay, it's only 3 this year.
Yeah, it's only 3. June, July, and August. It ends August 23rd.
Okay, do any of you feel like there are not too many street festivals here, so it sounds good to us, Abby, and the PRNC will do whatever, at least I and some of our board members and volunteers, we're happy to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Anna?
Appreciate that.
Oh, 2 things I just wanted to mention that somebody had put in the chat, that the charging station is not just for BYO residents. I think Yvonne did. It's open to the general public can't use them, but then I think Yvonne said the charging is not just for BYO residents. I just want to call that out. And also I just wanted to share, as someone who had a high schooler, I'm familiar with Writer's Coach, and it was life-changing for many young people, particularly those who were did not maybe have the best experience in English class, and many people got into college, I think, tied to the work that they did with their essays and such. So it is a phenomenal organization. I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Thanks for pointing that out. Well, we are on target to end 15 whole minutes early. So we do have another couple minutes if anybody has any remembrances or if anybody wants to say anything. If not,
I had something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Cordell.
Get your face in there.
Right.
There's his face.
Right, because I was like, I just remember what I was going to ask Pam. I was like, the process how to remove an item off consent, she already explained it. So I'm like, I just remember what I was going to ask her. So
Okay, well, there you go. So I just want to make a good set of reminder for Saturday morning. There are a couple things going on, one that I did not mention. I think most of you know Susie Cody of Compass Real Estate. She has been cleaning our shoreline for years with her monthly cleanups. Susie has, I am gobsmacked that she has donated $1,500 worth of services. We are going to have a shredding truck at the Coffee with a Cop event on Saturday morning. And I should have led with that. If you have any old documents, papers, your old tax records, put them in a box or a paper bag. We're not exactly sure where they're going to be. They will probably be behind the library on Park Place or in the parking lot of the fire station, but it'll be easy to find. It is a gigantic truck, and she is donating that service to our community free of charge right in front of your face. So we did get help from the police department to secure parking for that because for identity theft, the police department really wants you to shred your documents. So usually when I shred, it costs me between $15 and $35, depending on how many papers I have. So I encourage you to go through your house, pick up all those old checks and stuff, put them in a paper bag or cardboard box, and bring them by the Coffee with a Cop. And I'm going to just implore you to spread this information to your neighbors. Setting up this meeting took me almost a year. And there's a lot of the cops, the police are busy, Michelle is busy, the community center is busy. Everyone's wanted to have these live social events. So please try to make it out to Coffee with a Cop with your bags full of old checks and business records. And just stop by, say hello, meet face to face. And when you have your friends who spend all day on Nextdoor complaining about crime, or on Facebook complaining about crime, and somebody should do something, and we don't know the police and they don't care, this is the time for them to make an actual difference. In the amount of time that we will learn what to do when we see crime in our neighborhoods, and it will take less time for us to properly use our eyes and ears to support this than it will for someone to go on Nextdoor or Facebook and say, what happened at the hotel Todd last, because it's always the Todd Hotel, or whatever. What happened at the shore stay? This is our opportunity to make a difference. So please come out. Reverend, if you're speaking to any of your congregation before Saturday morning, come on over and meet the police, and let's get our eyes and ears working, because there definitely is a lot of weirdness going on in the Point these days. And I'll finish up with Anna.
No, just reiterate, it's at the community center. Do you know the address off the top? We shared it last month, but in case
139 Washington Avenue.
Say again,
139 Washington Avenue.
Great.
And of course, it'll be over by the time these notes get out.
If anybody's listening and they might not remember or know.
Yeah, that's the library. It's the same building as the library. Ladies and gentlemen and neighbors and friends, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you Saturday morning with your old documents to shred and your thirst for caffeine and whatever snacks Santa Fe brings. Thank you so much for joining us, and maybe at the musical festival as well. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Good job.
Edie, thanks for setting up the meeting.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Philip.
Everybody.
Have a great month, everyone. Have a good July as well. We'll see you in August.
Yeah.
Bye.
What a great meeting.
Cheers.
Gracias.
All right.
It's almost like they were reading from a script. It's like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.